Hollywood likes to sort of devalue black artists and black folk because you get super talented people at a discounted rate.
The real deal is we don't own any platform the way we should. There's a few black-owned platforms, but we don't have a lot of outlets. We don't have as many. So we are not sort of governing over these entities or these corporations.
If you got morals and a spine and you're not about to sell out, they'll shut you down fast. The truth, we don't really control any of these platforms the way we should. Sure, a few are black-owned, but the power still in someone else's hands. We ain't got many outlets, and that means we don't get to make the rules. And that's exactly what went down with 90s legend Larenz Tate. You remember him? Menace II Society had him on fire. Love Jones, that smooth charm had everybody hooked. Every time he showed up, it was pure black excellence. Then boom, out of nowhere, he dipped. Back in the day, he had a couple sitcom gigs too, but none of them stuck. And suddenly...
Back when Larenz Tate was a sitcom kid, he did have a lot of shows that didn't last. And I'm pretty sure at one point he felt like his career was not going in the direction it should. See, this is a testament that what is for you, and things happen in divine timing.
Silence. People started whispering, what happened to Larenz? Why did one of the smoothest, most respected black actors of that era suddenly disappear from the spotlight? Katt didn't spill every detail, but the shade was loud and clear. Sounds like Larenz wasn't with the Hollywood nonsense behind closed doors. You know what we're talking about. Those weird so-called rituals, creepy club vibes, secret handshakes, all the shady stuff you gotta do.
You don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about does following the ritual work. Yeah. And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear.
If you want to climb the ladder, and if you don't play along, you're a problem. And Hollywood doesn't keep problems. They erase them. Katt basically said Larenz was too solid to be controlled. And if you can't be puppeteered, they'll throw you out like trash. So now everybody's wondering, what exactly did Larenz Tate walk away from? So what shady trap did Larenz Tate dodge that other actors walked right into without blinking? And why would Hollywood, with all its power and influence, quietly blacklist a man who was destined to be a global icon? Back in the 90s, Larenz was everywhere. You couldn't miss him.
Historically, Hollywood has always taught us we don't translate overseas or worldwide. Right. But when you start traveling and you go everywhere and you can't walk down the street, you then know that there's been somebody telling you something all along that's wrong. And my true belief as to why they do it is because Hollywood likes to sort of devalue black artists and black folk because you get super talented people at a discounted rate. You get a super Hollywood likes to get really talented black folks and get them at a discounted rate. Only, certain superstars that can hit that level that they would feel like they would put a machine behind. But the truth of the matter is we do translate because we're humans just like everyone else.
And he came in strong with Menace II Society, playing that wild, unpredictable OG with a cold stare and a short fuse. That performance, legendary. Then he flipped it in Dead Presidents, playing a battle-worn soldier haunted by pain and frustration.
Now, this young man has obviously forgotten some very fundamental things like decency and dedication and honor. Everything the Corps taught us. He is a disgrace to everyone that has ever put on that uniform, and I will not permit you or him to use the Vietnam War as a cop-out here.
You could feel every ounce of his struggle just by looking in his eyes. And let's not forget Love Jones. Larenz had women in a trance playing Darius Love Hall. Smooth, poetic, deep. He wasn't just acting. He was channeling real, raw black love. He wasn't just some actor. He was a movement. Black men admired him. Black women loved him. This man had it all. The charm, the talent, the grace. And here's the wild part. He never embarrassed himself or the culture.
Little something I've been working on. It's new. I call it a blues for Nina. Ooh. Is that a smile me put on your face, child?
No crazy headlines, no arrests, no messy courtroom drama. Just class, skill, and realness every single time. Larenz didn't crash out or spiral into chaos. He didn't slip up. He kept it clean and crushed every role they gave him. But then, nothing. No drama, no scandal, no viral breakdown. 1 minute he's Hollywood's golden child, the next, it's like somebody hit mute on his entire career. And that's the strange part. Usually when a star disappears, there's some huge controversy behind it. But with Larenz, the silence was just too suspicious. Rehab scandals.
So when you were quoted as saying Hollywood doesn't know anything about black people, you still feel that?
I wouldn't use the word anything.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. You would say a little bit. You say Hollywood now knows a little bit.
I feel that until we get into the position of being gatekeepers, if we're not in the room, if we don't have a green light vote, it's not getting done. Somebody in the studio has to say, we're making it.
So every time there is, as you said, where everybody's talking about this is now a new wave of black films. Do you think it's
hogwash?
Courtroom drama, a messy breakup splashed across the tabloids. None of that happened with Larenz Tate. No chaos, no public fall off, just a slow, quiet fade into the background. He's still doing a few roles here and there, but nothing like the spotlight he used to own. This man used to carry entire films, and now he's barely visible. So what really went down? This is where Katt Williams starts sounding like he saw it all coming. Word is, Larenz started turning down roles that didn't feel right.
Like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully.
Stereotypical scripts, disrespectful characters, even those cross-dressing for laughs roles that get passed around like some secret test in Hollywood. Larenz wasn't about to sell himself short like that. Not then, not ever. While others played along, he stood tall. He wanted real roles, powerful, meaningful stories that told the truth. But in Hollywood, when you say no too many times, they cut you off real quick. The calls stop, the roles dry up, and the doors that once opened with a smile slam shut. Let's be honest, Hollywood doesn't know what to do with a smart, clean-cut black man who won't bow down and knows his value. That type of confidence, it shakes the system, and Hollywood don't like being shaken. Here's the hard truth. There's only room for a few strong black men at the top. It's like there's a hidden quota. One or two get the spotlight, the awards, the billion-dollar franchises. But the rest, pushed into the same tired boxes. The sidekick, the comic relief, the troubled soul in the background, always in the shadows, never the lead. And while all that's happening, the studios keep throwing money at the same recycled trauma, drugs, gangs, prison, broken homes, like that's the only story we got. Why? Like Spike Lee called it out, Hollywood is way too comfortable with black pain. That same tired narrative, Hollywood sticks to it because it's easy.
Who gonna turn it? I did.
It sells, it keeps the money flowing, and it doesn't shake up the power at the top. But a proud, self-respecting black man who won't sell his soul for a check, that's seen as a threat. That kind of man is dangerous. He might actually inspire folks to think bigger, ask questions, and start exposing what really goes on behind closed doors. And you know they can't let that happen. Yeah, Hollywood gave us one Denzel, but even he had to be damn near flawless. 10 times more polished, 10 times more controlled, no room for error, no cracks, no slips. And when it comes to Larenz Tate, don't believe anyone who says he disappeared because he wasn't good enough. That's a flat-out lie. He got pushed out because he refused to play the part they wrote for him. He didn't want to be the stereotype. He wasn't about to throw away his dignity or turn his back on his people just to stay famous. And that's what made him a problem. And guess who's been calling this out for years? Katt Williams. He's been sounding the alarm, exposing how Hollywood really works. People used to clown Katt, called him crazy, bitter, paranoid, said he was just salty because he wasn't getting his shine. But now, folks are finally waking up. Turns out, Katt wasn't ranting, he was warning us. And that's exactly why they tried so hard to shut him up. But
everybody's saying that this is a year for African-American films. I think there are 10
They say that every 5 years they say.
Not every 5, maybe every 10.
Every 10.
Every 10 years we get,
Every 10.
now
There's
they're
a
coming.
there's a new wave. There's a new wave, and then something happens, and then
As Viola Davis say, then you'll go 5 years and you won't get anything. Yes.
it's cyclical. But it's tough business.
Yes.
man, somebody had to say it. Katt Williams has been dropping clues for years, and most people missed them. One of the biggest bombs he dropped, Hollywood tests you. Yeah, folks always focus on the whole men in dresses thing, but Katt made it clear, it's not about the dress, it's about humiliation and control. Before they let you into those elite circles, they throw you a challenge, a moment where they ask you to cross a line, something that goes against who you are, something that makes you feel small, like you've lost control of your own body and choices. And once you say yes, boom, they own you. From that point on, they know you'll follow the script, no pushback, no questions. But Katt didn't stop there. He took it to a deeper level. said this ain't just shady, he called it spiritual. He started linking all these so-called Hollywood rituals to something much darker, something way beyond fame and money. According to Katt, what looks like just another funny scene or silly costume could actually be part of a twisted initiation. He talked about elites, secret symbols, and yeah, even whispers of dark worship. What he was saying? This industry ain't just about acting, it's about submission. It's about sacrificing your will to something you can't even see. And once you go that deep, you don't just walk away clean. Now bring this back to Larenz Tate. The man had it all. Talent, charisma, undeniable star power. He didn't just act, he embodied every role with soul.
Street Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it?
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathin'.
So why'd he vanish out of nowhere? Not because he wasn't good enough, please. It looks like Larenz reached that final test, saw what was behind the curtain, and said no thanks. He turned away from the game before it swallowed him whole. Larenz Tate didn't fall off. He walked away on his own terms, and he's even hinted at it in interviews. He didn't take the bait. He didn't bow down. He refused to let Hollywood break him. But Larenz didn't just disappear quietly. He started speaking out and saying the kind of stuff that makes Hollywood nervous. One of the biggest bombs he dropped, the pay gap. While the industry pats itself on the back for diversity and inclusion, Larenz kept it real. He said what a lot of black actors have been forced to swallow for years. Even when they bring the same talent, the same ticket sales, and the same loyal fan base as their white co-stars, they still get paid less. Let that sink in. Same grind, same shine, smaller checks, and this ain't new. It's just that most folks are too scared to call it out, because they know what happens when you make too much noise. But Larenz, he said it anyway, and that's when you start to see the pattern. The minute you stop being safe, the moment you demand fairness instead of fake smiles, they start moving real shady behind the scenes. Hollywood wants you grinning for the cameras.
We work twice as hard to get twice as less as our counterparts, right? And that being said, we're not valued. I believe we're supposed to be valued. So those budgets are really important for us so that we can have the kind of quality that we can present to the consumer. And the smaller the budget, the more creative you have to get. And we don't have resources oftentimes as our white counterparts.
Nodding your head and saying thank you, even when they're shortchanging your worth. But as soon as you speak up, boom, silence. The phone stops ringing. Auditions gone, big roles disappear, all because you refuse to play dumb and stay quiet. That's exactly what happened to Larenz. He didn't play puppet, so they tried to erase him. Just look at what happened to Taraji P. Henson and Monique. The second they stood up and said, I deserve better, the industry hit them with all the classic labels. Difficult, ungrateful, hard to work with. Meanwhile, their white peers demand millions, walk away from deals, and still get called strong or savvy. The double standard is wild, and Larenz wasn't here for it. The double standard ain't just there, it's screaming. And Larenz Tate, he wasn't about to stay quiet and play along. He didn't just talk about unfair pay, he dug deeper. He said putting a few black actors in lead roles and tossing them a decent check ain't real progress. That's just a performance. The real power in Hollywood, it's behind the scenes. Who's writing the scripts? Who's calling the shots on which stories get told? Who's funding the films and deciding what gets the green light? If it's still the same small circle running the show, then nothing's really changed. Larenz broke it down. Representation without control ain't power. It's a distraction.
No. Oh, no.
Are they off? It's okay.
And he called that out loud and clear. He didn't want to be just another face on a movie poster. He was pushing for real change, equity, ownership, truth. And for that, they tried to bury him. Larenz didn't sell out. He didn't wear the mask. He didn't trade integrity for fame or checks. He stayed true. And in an industry built on control and compliance, that made him dangerous. So what did Hollywood do? They cut him off. The roles vanished. The studios went silent. The media stopped showing him love. They didn't make it messy. They made it quiet, but complete. And not because Larenz lost his edge, not because he couldn't act anymore. They ghosted him because he refused to be owned. From leading man to missing in action, all because he wouldn't bow down. And this right here, this is exactly why Hollywood didn't just cancel Larenz Tate. They buried him. Quiet, strategic. That's how they move when someone's too clean to drag, too solid to control, and too proud to play the game. They couldn't humiliate him, couldn't twist his image, so they made him disappear. That's how the game is played. If they can't own you, they erase you. But guess what? The truth is leaking out, and now that Katt Williams is boldly name-dropping Larenz, that's no small move. It means something heavy is bubbling beneath the surface. Because when the real ones start talking, the whole system starts to shake. No matter how hard they try to keep those curtains shut, these stories always find their way out. Larenz Tate didn't fall off. He escaped. He walked away before the machine could take his soul, and now the world's finally connecting the dots. So tell me, what do you think really happened to Larenz Tate? Was it the stuff Katt warned us about, the rituals, the control, the shady pay gap? Or is there something even deeper they're still trying to hide? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear everything. And if you're feeling this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe for more untold stories they don't want out, and share this with somebody who needs to hear it. This story, it ain't over. It's just getting started. See you in the next one.